Anybody want to take just a guess at how we might do that?
No, you duplicate it and fill it black.
Yep.
You did it last week.
Yeah, we did it last week quickly. So what I'm going to do is, you could do it the way you guys are talking about, sitting there and painstakingly kind of burning things down. And maybe if the shadows aren't that big or dramatic, that would work. However, since our shadows are very long here, that's just going to take us a lot of time. So there's a slightly easier way to do it. What we're going to do is we're going to kind of treat it like we did with the reflection. We're going to duplicate the background, or duplicate our object, which would be our GAN. So everybody just watch me and take notes, okay? And I'll go through this a handful of times because there's a lot of little steps and you can get kind of messed up along the way. Huh?
This isn't a book.
No. I've got these typed out though somewhere. I just gotta find them for you. But you still want to take notes. All right. So I'm gonna duplicate my object. I don't care. One of these needs to be the shadow. One of these needs to be the object. Since this one's already on top, I'll just go ahead and make that the object, and I'll make this one the shadow. All right. On my shadow layer, I am going to hold Command and click the mask. What that does is that selects my pixels for me. I'm going to go to Edit, Fill, and I'm going to fill it with a color.
Wait, you said on the shadow layer do what?
So shadow layer. On the shadow layer, hold Command, click on the mask. It selects your object for you. You should see marching ants appear. Click back on the pixels. Make sure your pixels are selected of the shadow. Yeah, just watch, just watch. Once making sure that the pixels are selected, you go to Edit, Fill. We're going to fill it with a color. I'm going to fill it with a shadow color. I'm just going to click on that. You're not going to see anything happen. That's fine. And you hit OK. Hit Command D to deselect. Make sure you hit Command D to deselect. And then you should have a shadow. So use your transform controls, and let's place that shadow where we want it to go. So something like that, about thereabouts.
Oh, I know you did.
Yeah.
And then gradient the
Are you
shadow.
gonna have to lighten it up?
Yeah.
And warp it a little bit?
So I can also, I need to warp it around a little bit. I need to make the object look a little bit better, but I'll do that in a second. So at this point, you would transform the shadow to make it look as realistic as possible in terms of shape. Now, I'm going to change the blending mode of my layer, which is up here. I'm going to change that to whatever works. Does multiply work?
And that's on your shadow layer?
Yes, this is on the shadow layer. Multiply didn't really work. Our shadows aren't that thick. Let's see if color blend works. No, not at all. No. How about overlay? That's too light. How about vivid light? No. Linear light. Let's go back to multiply. That seems to be actually about the best, but now let's change what's called the layer opacity. So looking at my shadow here, I want to get it to be similar. That's not bad. And we'll hit OK. Now, I need it to taper off a little bit. What tool did we just use that's going to work? Yes, I'm going to grab my gradient tool, making sure I have my foreground to transparent selected with black as my foreground color. And I'm just going to draw in a little bit there. And now to clean up, I'm gonna take a brush, brush that edge off. Now, what else could I do with my Gant bottle?
Bury it.
Yep. How can I bury it? No, I got an easier way to do it.
Can you do like a blend with the background or something?
I can just take my gradient tool on the mask, again, making sure I have foreground and transparent, and just start drawing out on the Gant bottle. Yeah, I could mask it too. Oops. You can start burying it a little bit. It's gonna mess up a little bit here, but that's okay. And then I would also need to do some curves. Needs to be lighter.
It's not buried though.
No,
Yeah.
I can bury it. Let me bury it real quick. Move it over. Make it easier to bury. I'm actually probably just gonna do this one with a brush. I'm gonna make you guys do a different object here in a second. Yep, that's gonna be you gotta get out of here.
Oh, why are you gonna change up the object? It's not what you used to.
Make it different. There you go.
How can you get rid of like the little shadow line that's like this?
In the back, I'm gonna click on that shadow and just paint mask it off.
That part there was buried.
That does not look buried.
Sure it does.
It just looks like you erased a little bit of it.
It looks
Well, I'm just saying.
it's not looking good.
I just don't get it.
Not done yet.
Okay.
Just forget to do it.
Oh, he's gonna do it.
He's got to be pulling.
Determined now. Now you gave him a challenge.
I'm gonna be your man.
I might be able to do yours, right?
How do you wait
Actually,
till you blend it with the background?
possibly. You're still like 27. Yeah, so you don't know.
Yeah.
18 years ago, what would you be doing right now? Oh,
I think maybe it does, but it just looks so out of place that it doesn't.
And that.
Like everyone knows that bottle's
Exactly,
not
it's all
supposed to be there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we can do that.
Are you sure? Like maybe it does look
That's
buried.
what you pulled up.
Oh, it's looking.
That's the conversation.
Ryan, I'm not convinced.
Okay.
Well, I just don't think that big of a deodorant you'll never see on a beach.
No.
Oh, it looks better from back there.
Yeah,
I think that's what she said she did.
this is, for that type of work,
What I do?
for this type of work and things like that, when we're really starting to try to make transitions, that's when next week we're gonna start bringing out the Wacom's, the tablets. Because that type of brush work is a lot easier to do. That type of subtlety is a lot easier to do because you can control opacity and flow with the pressure of the pen. So being able to control that makes it a lot easier. So yeah, you would dodge and burn, you would add tone, and then you would group all these guys together, and you would be done.
Good job, Ryan.
All right,
Sorry, what I do?
Is
so,
that our homework assignment?
no, not the Gant bottle. If you guys, let's see, what I want you to do is on 90 Mile Beach, take the hand.
Oh, Jesus. Again. Gosh, Ryan.
Take the hand and put it on the beach.
Is that our homework assignment?
No, that is you will not have homework, if you get this done in class.
That's our get out of jail free card.
Yep, and not have homework.
Is it okay if he flips you off?
It should be in same file.